Hello and welcome to Play Start Repeat. I'm Oliver and I'm joined by Niall, Alex, and Lewis.
Hello.
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 It's time for our video game book club episode. Once a month, one of us chooses a game for the group to play and review, and this month the game is Wario World, as chosen by Alex. Alex, why'd you pick Wario World? Other than the fact that you had no time to pick a game.
Yeah, I literally had like 2 minutes to pick because Lewis couldn't decide. This was going to be my pick instead of Chibi Robo, but I decided for Chibi Robo because I thought that would have been a better experience. But then I was like, right, I need another game. It's short. We'll do a short game. Took us like what, 4 hours? Yeah, it's been one of them games where it's just been like one of them games where you just look at it and go, I don't think I'll ever play that. But I think it just needed. I just needed a game where I just needed to like a one and done experience to get it done.
I get you. So a little bit about the game. Wario World is a platformer / beat 'em up. Developed by Treasure and published by Nintendo. It released exclusively for the GameCube in June 2003. Interestingly, it released in Europe first and Japan last, which at that time never ever happened. So it took over a year for the Japanese release. Well, usually it at that point in the gaming history, it would take a year for a Japanese release by a Japanese developer to transfer over here. So
That's crazy.
I thought it was. So opening statements then. Let's start with Alex because he picked the game. Hit us with it.
Okay, so Wario World is one of the most average experiences I've ever had in my entire life. I gave it a 5 out of 10. It's hard to say positives and negatives just because the whole experience was just very, very average. The bosses were fine. The level design was quite good. But it was just the same thing over and over and over again. And I wasn't gaining anything from like doing odd levels and stuff. Yeah. Just an average experience. 5 out of 10.
Just a middle of the road 5 out of 10. Niall.
I've decided. Me and Alex are very different in terms of the games that we enjoy. I like good games.
Not necessarily true.
That's also true. Yeah, I do feel like for this, Alex is definitely the heel of VG BC 100%. It is. Yeah, so 2.5 out of 10. I actually thought it was enjoyable in a lot of it, but also it was just like relatively just mid. And there was so basically it's mid, so it starts off at a 5 out of 10, right? And then what brings it down is just its age for the most part. However, what I will say is that there was some surprising elements of the game which had some like good quality of life stuff. For example, something which I found as I was rushing through the game is I got a lot of game overs because of how much I was rushing through the game, and the game over system I thought was actually quite forgiving and quite nice. The fact that you could just respawn exactly where you were, the states of the enemies, the states of the bosses were all exactly the same. Like that felt like much more of like a modern thing to see, and it only cost like 200 moolah, which you would get anytime anyway. What? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was going to say we'll have to talk. We'll have to talk about that because I didn't get a game over once. So I've no idea what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah, so I was literally just like rushing through the game, trying to get beat as quickly as possible. So I died quite a lot. But basically, what happens is when you die, it says game over, and it says, "Do you want to spend 200 moolah to respawn?" And then you just do it, but like you get that money so easily that you essentially just never actually go back to. I assume if you press no, which I never did, you go back to the start of the level and you have to do everything again. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's just a 2.5 out of 10 for me.
2.5, Big Lou.
I also did not enjoy the game remotely, really. It's like a Nintendo. You can feel that it's a Nintendo game, but it's like a Nintendo game that was made on like a budget of like £10. Like it's you feel the love in it kind of, but there's just sort of no backing behind it whatsoever. and the game just isn't really fun. There's nothing about the game. Like, the game's repetitive, for starters. It's the same thing over and over again. It's the same enemies over and over again. The only thing I really liked about it, outside of the fact that it's a Nintendo game, I guess, is just that the music was pretty good. That's about it. The actual game
Not the
itself...
pause music.
Not the pause music.
Oh, yeah,
I had to
don't
reference the
remember
guide quite a lot, and it was like the worst thing.
I don't
in the
remember the
world.
pause music. I just remember Wario making an annoying noise every time he paused it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. There's just no substance to the game whatsoever. And I don't understand how anyone has enjoyed it, because before we played this, I looked up to see what people thought of it just in general, because it's a game that I never really see people talk about. And the general consensus is that people seem to like it. Like, they don't think it's amazing or anything. They just seem to think it's pretty good. But after playing it, yeah, there's just nothing about it that I enjoyed, like, at all. It was just sort of a really boring experience. So I give it a 3 out of 10.
Cool. I'm going to disagree with Lewis on a few points there in my opening statement. So I gave it a 5 out of 10, but it's a complicated 5 out of 10. So I think the game has a lot going for it. So it's only got 12 levels, and they are a bit long, but I think each level is quite drastically different in that it's always a different like scenario, like a different area. Like, you got your circus and you got your deserts and all that kind of stuff, which is what you'd expect from a platformer kind of thing. But I just thought they were very drastically different. The enemies weren't the same in every level. They might have acted the same, but they didn't look the same.
No, they reused a lot of enemies throughout the game.
I don't know, Chief. I think
That,
so,
like, mechanically works the same.
Oh yeah,
as well.
mechanically yes, but they do look different. It's a platformer. It's not going to have loads of different like enemy mechanics, is it? It's just, you basically want to be able to defeat every enemy the same way, apart from bosses.
Astrobot did.
Astrobot did what?
Astrobot did. Had loads of different enemies. Loads of different enemy mechanics. I'll say that.
Yeah, well, you defeated each one by jumping on it or punching it, I guess.
Oh, zapping it.
But yeah, that's the same. Right, and stop distracting me. So each level includes some. I think there's some good puzzles in there, which you need to do to get to the end of each level. However, it's just like I say, every level feels really long, and the level design, like the base level design outside of the puzzles, I think is some of the worst level design I've ever seen in any game. In terms of just getting from A to B, there is.
Yeah.
I'm a big guy for signposting, and there is no signposting at all. There's too many paths, and you can end up going back in yourself a lot without realizing it.
Yeah, that was something I forgot to say in my opening statement. I did want to say that for a game that is just basically a very it's meant to be a very straightforward platformer, it's really convoluted on how you actually beat the levels.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be as convoluted as it is.
Yeah, I think what they were going for, because of what I've played of Wario Land games, they are very much the same.
Yeah, it is that. So if you've played Wario Land, yeah, it is. They tried doing the same thing and transferring it to 3D the best they could.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work, though.
So I think that's why a lot of people like it, because those will be the people, the Wario Land fans, who have seen they've obviously tried to translate it as the best they could into 3D. And if that was the goal of the game, then they've succeeded, because that's exactly what it is. If you know what I mean, it just coming from someone who isn't necessarily a fan of the Wario Land games, it's just not a good platformer.
Yeah.
There's a little Wario on your desk.
There is. I went over to Amiibo shelf to see if they had one, and I did. I don't have any plushie. I was going to grab a plushie, but I thought I've got a Waluigi one, but not a Wario one.
Yeah, I only have Toad.
You only got one plushie? What, you a grown man?
All of it is boxed up. As you can see, it's a different setup right now.
Isn't it a different setup?
I just got Winston.
Just Winston. Well, you got a Bulbasaur behind you and a Sonic.
I do, and a Grub.
And a Grub. If we ever talk about Hollow Knight, which we won't, because Silksong's never coming out, then we could get your Grub on your desk.
Yeah.
All right, cracking.
It makes a little noise.
So what was the average score then? Did anyone calculate that?
Niall did. 3.875.
3.875. When did he do that?
Just while she was talking.
4 minutes ago.
Oh, did he put it in the chat? Did he put it in
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Niall.
It was meant to be
spicy today. Right. Okay. Yeah, but I can't go to the. I can't go to the chart because if I go to the chart, then the faces disappear off the thing. Right. So I want to talk a little bit about the combat. So I think the combat was actually quite fun.
Really?
Well, so remember I played Klonoa recently, and Klonoa's combat is quite similar in that it a lot of the movement mechanics require you to pick up an enemy, and I felt like this was a good evolution of that in that it wasn't just one thing. There were multiple things you could do when you picked up an enemy, such as spin around and take out other enemies, blast through doors, all that kind of stuff. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it had a
mechanic where you open doors with the enemy when you spin around.
There's a lot more variety than you usually get from a platformer.
Yeah.
Also, it is a platformer. Like no, never mind. I'm getting confused because it's not a special game.
What revelation were you about to drop then?
I thought you were doing a Gasari Man joke, but you did not.
More like shit.
That it's not a rhythm game.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
not really. Yeah, well, it's like this is a platform because there is platforming, but obviously it's got that beat 'em up blood in it as well that all the Wario lands have, I guess.
I will say the level design might be really bad, but it does control fairly well at least. Like I thought, I never got my depth perception when like jumping from platform to platform, and just a lot of other things. It was pretty smooth, at least in my opinion.
It depended on the level. For me, it was some of those levels where you got the gems, like that. I was like obviously fell like a million times trying to jump perfect. Like the one where it's slowly tilted upwards, and until it was like all the cubes were vertical. And you had to make that jump. Just because you can't move the camera down, so you can't see.
You can't move the camera down. In the platforming section, in the puzzle section,
levels, you can. Yeah, and the above ones, you can only move it left and right a notch and up and down and on.
I didn't discover that until late in the game either. The fact that you could look down. It wasn't until I got to a puzzle where I really needed to do it, where I tried it. But I think it was the opposite of what you'd expect it to be. So it was like pressing down instead of up. Maybe that's why you didn't discover it, or something like that.
Yeah, no, I remember that actually. Yeah, I was trying to press down and it only went up. I'm like, oh, that just must mean that I can't look any further down. But I just didn't try the other way.
Yeah, no.
So that'll be it.
I disagree slightly. I think the platforming again we are playing a lot of platformers at the moment. I've just said it a few times. It just didn't feel as precise as what I'd expect from a Nintendo platformer.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think it was a masterclass or anything. It's just it was compared to everything else that was going on in the game.
Yeah,
I thought the platforming itself was relatively good.
It was one of the least jank parts of it.
I was expecting it to be a lot worse.
I didn't realize Metaphor took so much inspiration from this game either.
Go on, no,
he's gonna drop a fucking banger right now. Go on now.
It's just like, do you guys remember what the second boss was?
No.
Baby.
It was the baby. Second boss in Metaphor.
Yeah. Was it a baby?
It was a baby. It was a baby.
It was a baby.
There we go. So, there's some stuff to look forward to, Alex, because there's a lot of that in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Some good shit that now.
I didn't understand.
Some quality content.
I think it's pretty wild that there's a giant baby who's the second boss in both of those games.
Oh, right, okay.
Right, no, but crazy, right? Luigi's Mansion, there's a giant baby.
There's a giant baby.
Okay,
but is it the second boss?
No, it's the first one.
Ah, well, there we go.
Yeah, okay, I understand that. Sorry, didn't mean to death it.
That is one thing I liked about this. I liked the bosses as well. I can't remember there being a proper dud, and all the mechanics were different.
I didn't like the last boss. I thought it was really underwhelming. I thought it was really underwhelming, and the design was just...
It took like 2 minutes as well.
It was
literally ran in a circle.
It was incredibly easy to cheat that boss. Incredibly easy. You just need to keep running, and then he can't trap you.
I mean, to be fair, that was most bosses.
Yeah.
You hit a couple of times and ran round in a circle, and then repeated. That was it.
Yeah, I like the pirate boss. The pirate boss was cool.
Oh yeah, we had to jump up. Yeah,
my favorite one.
Yeah, and the spider as well. Those were probably my top two favorite bosses.
I like the circus guy as well. He was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I got a bit annoyed with that one sometimes though, because I got like with the pattern and stuff, and like if you miss, because obviously one of the balls disappears every single time. If you miss that little window, then you just lose.
Save states, Alex. Save states all the time.
I didn't use save states. The game was too easy to use
No,
save
no,
states.
I was gonna
emulator,
say,
my
did
guy.
you ever lose?
No, because it saves
That's why I never.
states.
That's why I never got
Even
game
if I did
over.
lose, I'd just pay the money.
Right, and I'll tell you
Not
why I
win.
start. I'll tell you why I started using save states right the fuck now is because when you fell off a stage, it was the most annoying thing in the world.
I do think that was a
that's
dumb
fair.
mechanic.
Yeah.
I did not understand it whatsoever.
So just to explain, so when you fell off a stage, you went down into like some underground part where there were loads of different boxes. You had to find the right one to get back up. But if you fell in like the water or something, you'd lose money really fast. But it was just a pointless mechanic, and that is why I started using save states because I wasn't doing that more than twice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because it happened to me quite a few times, and I just first of all, I didn't get why losing money mattered, like at all, really.
Considering you had all of it, like you had a lot of it.
Well, yeah, you get so much of it, and to be fair, until Niall said when you die, you can just pay the fee. I didn't know that, because I didn't die at any point.
It's just a very forgiving one-up system, really. That's
Yeah,
pretty much what it is.
Yeah, which that part's fine, but then why put me into an underground pit where there's just like one of 9 boxes that I have to hit over and over again just to get out? Like, it just seems really like I'd rather just fall off the stage and lose some hearts, or just just fall off the stage and lose some hearts. Like, why put
Or
me
even
through
lose
that?
some money.
Yeah, like it just seems
Alvin
really
Klein's.
pointless.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Because it's not like you got stuck when you got thrown down into the pit either. It was just that, oh, I have to go hit all 9 of these boxes with no challenge. Because those ghost things weren't ever going to hit you if you were just moving around the room.
They grabbed me quite a few times.
How?
I didn't get me, I just ended up on the water. And it would always be the last box that I hit.
I think there might be some sort of mechanic where the more you fall, if in the same area or the same level, the more sharks there are. Because there was one bit where I fell back to back like 10 times. Because that's the thing, when I respawned, the enemies which kept on knocking me off respawned as well. So, and I had to wait for one of the glue balls to get into the right place to be able to make the jump. And so, yeah, and like there was one point where I could barely see any screen other than sharks down there. So that might be the case. Yeah, but those glue balls, I don't think anybody talks about the glue balls enough. I've never heard anybody talk about glue balls.
Glue balls.
I think they're pretty cool.
Yeah. They're alright. As a climbing mechanic, they're alright.
Like, I can't think of, I mean, I might just be stupid, but I can't think of another game which does something quite like that.
No, I was impressed with it one of the first times you do it. It was in one of the red crystal sections is when you latched onto it and you had to, it was like hole in the wall. You had to like match yourself to where the gap was to get through it. And I did think that was quite fun. And like you said, I've never really seen that before in a game, but I don't know. Maybe it's
like the way they move around the level, like depended on what they're stuck to, the fact that you can move in like 360 around it, I thought it was actually quite cool. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Like I give the game props in like certain parts. Like I said, it feels that's what I was saying. It feels like a Nintendo game because it's got those weird Nintendo like quirks to it, but it just feels like it was made, like I said, with like £10. Like it's not quite there. It's got the Nintendo ideas there, but it's like for some reason they didn't have time to actually cook anything up.
It's just very typical of a first party Nintendo game that isn't developed by Nintendo.
Yeah,
it's the same happens whenever you whenever you license to anything. It's not gonna feel exactly how you'd expect it, like a Wario game to feel, because it's not a Nintendo R&D's paws all over it.
Yeah.
That, by the way, is the last time that I put an amiibo on my desk because I've now broke it. His arm now comes off.
Oh,
he fell off the stage and he lost all his money.
Yeah,
true.
Anyway, I did have some notes down here for like graphics, but I just basically wrote it looks exactly how I expect a Wario Land game of this time to look.
I don't understand. I've said this before. Why games like is like Wario Land? It's like bloody Xenoblade. Just these games which have very cartoony / anime characters, but then go for realistic at the time textures for the environment. Like, I do not understand why that's a style which people use. Like, it's harder to do as well. I don't get why.
Is it harder to do?
Yeah.
It's probably just to differentiate it from Mario games, I'd imagine, in this case anyway.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's not set in the Mushroom Kingdom, so they had to make it look drastically different, so it's evident that it's not.
Yeah, like New Donk Kingdom, is that what it's called?
New Donk City.
New Donk
isn't it?
City.
It's not called New Donk City Kingdom
No.
because they're all called different kingdoms in Odyssey, aren't they? Like it's a different kingdom.
It's called the Metro Kingdom.
Metro Kingdom. There
Ah,
we go.
yes.
Yeah, see, there we go.
There's New Donk City.
Yeah, I don't know why I brought that up. I can't remember.
I think you were gonna say that New Donk City does it good. Like that's realistic.
Yeah, it does.
Looks Mario.
It looks realistic and stylized. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But again, that's Nintendo R&D. People can't do that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm reminded of the health mechanics as well. Just watching the footage back, where did anyone buy health from the Garlic Man?
I did it one time just to see what it did.
I did it all the fucking time. Because it was just there's no reason not to. If you had like less than full health, then you might as well just do it. Did anyone gain any extra hearts, by the way?
No.
No, you did that from the other collectibles, I believe. So I guess we all just smashed the crystals.
I just did. Yeah, well,
wait, I found out that the crystals were the way to go, and I just
that's basically what I did. Like I played out the first 2 levels, realized I didn't have to collect the golden statue pieces, and then that was it. I just gave up. I got the minimum amount of red crystals for every stage, and then just went to the end.
Yeah, it would have been nice if each of the golden statues looked different. That might have given me a little bit of a incentive to do it. Or look drastically different anyway, but they didn't.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't know. What, are they all the same?
Yeah, from what I could. So I didn't finish one of them, but from what I saw, they all look very much the same of the piece because they appear outside the level when you've done it.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, cracking. Right. Does anyone have anything further to say on Wario World?
Can we just pick good games next time?
Well, it's up to Lewis now, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'll pick a better one next time. I've got it in the bank.
I think that I mean we've sort of gone through all of a lot of the like not must play Nintendo games, but a lot of those like classic everyone knows about these GameCube game type games. So I don't think we're gonna have many of those anymore. So you shouldn't have to worry.
Yeah, but there's still the PlayStation 1 and all that kind of PS2.
If people choose the PS1 game, if someone chooses the PS1 game, they're doing it to hurt people because there's no PS1 game that is enjoyable to play.
Whoa, Toy Story 2, Spyro. Come on, man.
Okay,
Crash Bandicoot. What the fuck are you talking about, Lewis?
No, because if you're gonna play Crash Bandicoot, you'd play the Insane trilogy.
No.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, my final thing on Wario World is that ice level was boring and bullshit, and I had to replay it like 4 times because I couldn't find one of the crystals.
If we're talking about worse levels, then for me it was the desert one, by far.
Yeah, same for me.
Because there wasn't a path to go on. It was just everything was everywhere. You know what I mean?
All at once.
All at once. Exactly. Right, ready to move on to 20 questions, 21 questions even.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, what I said before the podcast, just get rid of that. I just checked again. It was just fucking how long to beat chicanery. It was fine.
Chicanery.
I was excited to see how
That's
like
a new
50 games
word.
Oliver had never actually played.
It was just shenanigans. It just wasn't true. What happened was when I was searching, I searched and then it went to the wrong page, so I pressed back. But then when I pressed back, it didn't go back to that person's how long to beat. It went to someone else's how long to beat. And then when I searched it again, it didn't matter.
Right.
What I said before was just lies.
So what do you say now? You want to see all loads again?
I was hoping that Lewis would reveal that like 50 of your games and your how long to beat were not actually.
You are just desperate for me to not be as sick as I am.
Oliver's just like that guy on TikTok who just lies about beating all of his games.
I've never lied about beating a game. The one time I did that, sorry, I lied about beating a game once, and that was Katamari. That was the only one I lied about beating.
Revealed on
you
podcast
admitted
right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
You admitted that, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure I made it on the podcast.
Yeah.
It glitched out halfway through, and I couldn't get back to it, so I'm not playing it again. Done and dusted. Right. Anyway, 21 questions. Niall, are you making notes of what the questions are?
I am making notes.
Jolly good. Who would like to start?
Is that a new thing? Do people usually make notes of the question?
It's,
I do,
he has done it the last few times. It's just to
I did.
so
I
we
did
don't
the
forget.
last one. And it was
Yeah.
Niall.
Fair enough.
I'll go first.
Go on then.
Did the game release within the last 5 years?
Oh, I don't think so. Let me just triple check.
Damn, he hasn't even got the wiki up. He hasn't even got the wiki up.
Oh yeah,
Loki.
Doesn't
Yeah.
take this seriously at all.
it didn't. Yeah.
It didn't.
Yes, it didn't. Okay.
Okay.
Is that
so
what I said? I didn't say yes, it didn't. No, it didn't come out. Well, no, it did come out.
Never came out.
It didn't come out in the past 5 years.
It's Silk Song.
It was so hard to
Imagine.
short now.
Go on. Niall.
Right, so
Is
it
it-
didn't.
It didn't.
No, no,
Right,
I nearly
okay.
said a
I'm
bad
triple
word.
checking. You
Well,
did not make it clear.
Yeah, I'll just screenshot it for evidence. There we go. Right. Okay. So, is it first person?
No.
Okay.
It's gonna be a 3D fucking platformer again. I know it is.
All right. This might be a waste of a question, but I'm gonna have to ask it. Lewis, in your opinion, do you think we will guess this game?
Yeah.
Yes, a definite yes. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I think it's one of the first ones. I think it's one of the first games in one of the many recent video game book clubs in which people will probably get it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Or at least get it without 700 clues. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a PlayStation exclusive?
No.
Is it on Game Pass?
Can I have a look?
So we know that it's
Wow.
at least multi-platform.
Wait.
Yeah.
What? Let me open the actual Game Pass app. Sorry for the technical delay.
Technical
Maybe
delay.
later, and then type
Technically a
in.
delay.
No.
Not on
Oh.
Game Pass.
I
Are we playing it on PlayStation then?
actually didn't know that. Damn.
It's my go. Right. So we know it didn't come out in the last 5 years, but it was probably it was probably close. So we're looking like 2019,
So we're looking
2018.
PS4, yeah.
Yeah,
Why does that have to be close?
because you had to
You
check.
didn't know. Yeah.
So it's not like a
So
20-year-old game, or else you wouldn't.
Well, yeah. I guess it's not. I guess it's
Not
not
Banjo
30.
too,
I guess it's not 30 years old.
Right. Well, we'll nail down the generation. That it originally released on a PlayStation 4, Xbox One generation.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Is it a platformer?
Fucking hope not.
No.
No.
No. There you go.
And it's not first person, so.
Hmm. That is interesting. Is it? So third person. It's probably not going to be a puzzle game. It could be survival. What?
I will just say, just for the sake of what I was chatting before this podcast started, one person has played it. That's it.
Okay.
I will just say that one of yous, which one of yous has played it. So
Interesting.
I guess bear that in mind.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so it's probably not a puzzle game. It could be survival horror for a third-person game on Expo and PS4. So I'm going to ask, is it survival horror?
You know what, now?
Yes.
You're wrong.
Cool.
It is
Was
as
that-
well.
was
Right. So.
that? Imagine if it's Recore. Well, it can't be. It's not a platformer.
You're
Any of us played
Jesus.
Recore?
I started it and never finished it. It was a
There we go.
bad
Which score
game.
Recore is an insane fucking throwback. Who remembers Recore? Jesus.
I do. I have it.
Wait, do you
Where is it?
actually?
Yeah. Let me. Is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Pretty
hell.
cool.
Probably stole it off now.
Mental.
He's
No,
been known to
no.
steal games.
Oh yeah.
Classic.
Never played. Never played.
What question are we on?
What question we on now?
Number 9. This will be.
Oh, damn.
Jesus Christ, we need to start making some moves, don't we? Right, so it's third person, it's not a platform, it's not a survival horror. It can't be an RPG, can it? Can it?
Could be.
It's hard to think because the three of us play so many different games that we might need to like narrow down who is the one who's played it.
Yeah.
Would that help?
I don't know.
Probably. Because if it's one person that's played it, you got your artsy fartsy games.
I mean,
And
that's
you've
true.
got-
I mean, yeah, I
You've got
suppose.
your
I suppose.
2D platformers for Oliver, and then you've got your fucking Mario bullshit that I play.
I am more
I
than
mean,
just 2D platformers, I will.
I mean,
It was the first thing that I thought.
I suppose you can do that as long as people don't find out who it is. They cross-reference it with each other's how long to beat to try and find the game.
Right, I'm gonna ask a question. Is what I'm gonna do.
Go on.
Do you shoot guns in this game?
Not that I know of.
Interesting.
Is it in a series of games?
Oh, that's
Can we rephrase the question?
yes.
Is it part of a franchise?
Would that not be?
No, I'm gonna say no. No, I'm gonna say like clear, concisely no. I no.
It seems very much like a yes or no question. You seem to be struggling with it. That's the.
I'll explain why after the fact. But yeah,
Okay.
no. I'll just say no.
Okay.
I guess.
You shoot guns in Quantum Break.
Wait, let me
Yeah.
type it in as a question, just because I don't want to be blamed if I'm wrong about.
Yeah, like with Wario World, like I got it a little bit.
Yeah,
wrong.
I want to clarify and say what they definitely.
Do you reckon that
Right,
lies to the
according to the video game wiki, which I don't know if that has any credibility, it is classed as a series. So, yeah, I guess just I'll say yes
You'll
for the
say-
sake
So-
of what the internet seems to suggest.
Do you shoot in Quantum Break?
I don't know, because that's like one of the only Remedyverse games he hasn't played. And
But I've not played Quantum Break.
Have you played it, Niall?
I skipped Quantum Break.
Okay, right. So we know that no one's played, so it's not Quantum Break.
There we go. This is what we need to do. Think of a game. Who's played it?
Yeah.
2 of us played it. No.
No. I believe it's your question now.
Is it now?
It is.
So do you reckon that Lies and Deceit before, I don't know if that was actually on the pod, was a clue? Is it to be potentially a detective game?
I do not believe
It
that.
did not run that deep. I can push that. It was literally just a fumble of pressing back and the browser not knowing where to go, and it went to the wrong page.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is interesting because what we've got a bunch of clues which could really narrow down at least the genre, because we know it's third person or at least not first person. You don't shoot, so it's not a third person shooter. It's not a third person platformer, and it's not a third person survival horror. So what other third person genres are there?
Action adventure.
Yeah.
And which one of those do you not shoot though?
Well, this is it. Yeah,
I
action
mean,
adventure usually comes
like
hand in hand
a
with.
brawler, like someone punching or something.
To be
You want-
fair, my answer to the question was, from what I know, no. I said from what I know of, I've not played it. So
Lewis hasn't
Yeah, I
played
know.
it, so it's one of us that's played it.
Ah, there we go.
There we go.
But like, for example, like it rules out like the Uncharted series.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure all of us. Well, I haven't played any of it. Fine. Is it a? Is it? Is one of the genres puzzle?
No.
Okay.
You LA Noir came out well before the PlayStation 4 generation, didn't it?
Yeah, that was 360.
And
yes.
it probably will
Yes,
have
sorry.
guns in it as well. I'm stumped currently. We really do need that genre, but I just
Hard.
It could not be third person. It could be top down.
it could be top down.
It,
Yeah. Do you play as a human in this game, Lewis?
Yes.
You do play as a human.
Where's the
Sure.
heel?
Yeah.
Is it a male protagonist?
Oh, that's a proper good guess who
I
question.
don't actually know. One sec.
Because if it's not male, then that narrows it down massively.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Or if it's not either, then it could be that it's an RPG.
Or
Right, guys.
you might play as two different main characters.
Maybe.
So apparently,
Apparently.
Yeah.
according to I got right. So I can't give you a. What was your question?
Do you play as a male protagonist?
Oh no, that was it. So the no one knows the gender. Apparently, it's whatever you want it to be. Apart from this one Reddit post that says, "Nah, one time they said it was this," but I don't know if that has any valid.
What the fuck you? So a human that you can't.
It's a human, but it's male or female. Is up to you.
It's not first person, so you can definitely see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At all
So they
times.
are very, very androgynous, but also a human, so definitely not a robot.
Or maybe they're
Yeah.
wearing like armor or something.
Not a robot.
Wearing an armor
Yeah.
that completely conceals them.
I mean, like I said, I'm trying to give you the most honest answers here, and because I don't actually know, and the internet doesn't have a yes or no for what it is, so it's up to you. I'll say they're both.
We'll say they're both.
Yeah,
Okay.
fuck it.
All right.
This isn't my fault. No, this is not my
I'm
fault.
not blaming you. That's all. That's not what's happening here. Is we're trying to think of a game where there's
Yeah, no,
where
I
it's
just,
not
I, just
obvious.
wish, I just wish I could give a more conclusive answer. I can't.
Because it can't be an RPG then, because it sounds like at least one person had an opinion
Wait,
on the gender of the
who's-
character.
who's played Undertale out of us?
Not me.
I've not played it.
I have.
All right.
That
okay.
kid's quite androgynous.
Oh, that sounds like we might have an answer.
We got one in the bag.
Yeah.
We just need to ask for his pixel art, I suppose.
Go on,
Yeah.
then. It's you.
Is it me?
Go
It's
for it.
you.
Is it pixel art?
Yeah.
Go on now. You can have you can just make the guess, mate. I think that's it.
Is it Undertale?
It's Undertale.
Undertale, cracking. I want to get a trailer up,
I've-
even though no one needs that.
I've always wanted to play it, never could be asked. I think I tried playing it once, played it for like an hour, and then just stopped. I want a reason to actually finish it.
Let's see how long I played it for.
It is one of the best games of all time.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't know if I wanted to choose it, but then I realized that 2019 was 6 years ago, and I was like, now I can play again. You can do a different path. It'll be fine.
97 minutes I played it for.
I think that was somewhat
What?
similar to me. Yeah, it's just over an hour.
Is this? This is the complete. Oh no, it is Undertale. The trailer looks completely wrong then.
Yeah. It's good
Yeah.
as well because Deltarune's coming out soon.
Well, that's so. When you said is it a franchise, I was uncertain if Deltarune is meant to be like a sequel,
As far as I know, it is.
or
Yeah.
or it's just set in the universe, or like what? I don't know how it works.
Isn't Undertale really hard?
No.
No, because I saw. I was
Sans
the
fight.
Sans fight. I was watching
Really
someone play the Sans fight at their house, and
It's not hard at all. It's a bit bullet helly, but for the most part, like for the hardest fights, it'll take you a few tries.
even the Sans fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think I did the Sans fight. I think on my path, and it was fine. I mean, I'd be.
So that'd be a path where you don't do the Sans fight. Okay, cool.
Well, there's loads of paths.
Yeah, there's
think-
like 15 endings or something.
Yeah, I think think I accidentally went down the. I can't remember what path it is, but it's the path where you kill everyone. I didn't realize you could not do that. So there we go.
All right. Cool. So let's remind ourselves what the score for Wario World was.
3.875.
3.875, and next month's video game book club game will be Undertale. Cracking. Until next time, we shall see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Fine.